your first squad. Here is Evil Geniuses. And of course, being led by Okeanos, Digizin, Calm, and the boys here. Let's see what this squad can do. And to Emily, what Oki said in that video, he said, it's going to be scrappy. It's going to be a brawl. I think that's exactly what we should be looking out for here, right? It's going to get really scrappy.
Yeah, and I look forward to see how they kind of play together as that team, right? Because I was kind of mentioning, I was a little questionable when it came to their team chemistry, but they've had a little bit more time to get those reps in, and I'm hoping to see it here in this match.
Yeah, we'll see, of course, whether or not Evil Geniuses, to Jonah's point, put in that work before this game started. But the same can be said for their opponents on the other side of the field as well. Let's welcome to the stage. Here's Loud and Dryad. This squad, they have a great opportunity here. This is a team that's gotten so close so many times. They just need to get over that hump.
We mentioned it before, they have so much potential, but they haven't been able to convert those matches into wins. And it seems like they've been trying just a little bit of everything. In the 2 matches they've played so far, they played 5 different maps, and only in one they were able to find success, which was that jet that we talked about with Verdi on Breeze. Are they going to repeat some of these maps? Are they going to bring something new?
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities because this is your last chance to stay alive.
Yeah, and that I think is the thing that needs to be highlighted here more than anything, Jonah, right? Because when you lose out on this and you are eliminated, we're talking a hot minute of you not being able to play official matches before you get back on that stage again, right?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I haven't experienced that yet, but
humble brag.
But yeah, I think this game is going to come down to who over-prepared and who prepared just the amount.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, sometimes you just need to dumb down your game, play simple, and just let the game come to you instead of trying to do too much. So.
Well, speaking of simple, we start things off with Haven, one of the oldest maps in the game. Then we move on to Abyss. Didn't see what that last one was. It Corrode?
Yep,
I think it was.
Corrode.
Okay, Corrode. So what do we make of this series layout here, Dryad?
I really like this map of Haven to start off. I was just talking about what the maps were going to look like for Loud, knowing that we've seen a lot from them. They're going to bring this map of Haven back. My question is, if they're going to bring it back from that first week that they played it, are they going to be changing that composition? That solo Yoru, if they're going to continue playing it, it has to be just supported a little bit more.
What could work out here, given who's the components they have on Loud?
I would love to see. They can play double duelist. They can play another duelist as well. I feel like that is the best scenario.
So you really think that it's in the duelist
comfortable
side of things where you want to see the changes?
Yes, and it's not because of Verdi, it's not because of his individual performance, but the way that the rest of the team is able to follow up from him.
No, it makes sense completely, of course. Verdi, a lot of pressure on him, right? And he's going to be squaring off against Digizin on the other side, so that will always be, a difficult battle there, but I'm sure DG's more than prepared for that challenge. On the other side, though, we talked about what Loud can do. What does Evil Geniuses look to do here, in the series? Like, where do their wins come from?
I think the fact that we've already seen Loud perform on Haven, losing 7-13 against Cloud9, they kind of had like a one-dimensional game plan going into it, and I think EG can look to take advantage of that if they haven't made any big changes to their game plan. I think EG is going to be coming in strong, especially putting DGZin on that Neon, going for that aggression and kind of putting a stop to all the lurking that could possibly be the change that Loud makes.
Yep, I think this game will be very important for Digizin. Haven, to me, is one of his best maps. Every time I watch him play this map, he dominates. So it's going to be a lot about getting those lines, trying to deal with this Viper utility, this Viper wall. And he's the type of player to get in your face, so we're going to see that a lot.
We did see a change-up, too, Dan. You asked for it.
And I love this. This Neon is going to be a different story for Loud. It should be close between the two.
All right, folks, let's get this Saturday started, shall we? Send it over to your casters for this one. Here's Rivington and Van Silly.
We are ready to start this day with another game. 2 teams facing elimination and looking for their first win.
Yeah, and they are desperate right now, Riv, because it's also not only elimination, but that the past few weeks in terms of the offseason, the preparation going to this game, the changes they have to make is going to pay off. So it's a big sigh of relief for any of these teams, either Loud or EG, to be able to win this game. And they talked about it at the desk. We're kicking things off on Haven, where we do have changes actually on both sides. For Loud, they've played this map before against Cloud9, and they got kind of dominated by the teamwork around C9, and they want to play to Verdi's best. So they're switching him out from the Yoru to the Neon. For EG's side, you're stepping away from the Breach, Sova, Cypher, Jet combo that they kept running last year, and they're going with a mirror matchup.
It looks like they will get just the eyes on Long, and a slow start for both sides here. seeing who will make the first move, honestly.
Especially when it's an elimination game at the pistol round.
Yeah.
Every single kill and round counts. So both teams being very patient. Now leveraging a little bit of a fake. You see the drone coming out from KICKOFF and trying to break this turret, trying to pull some rotates across for the rest of Loud to walk up on this A site. And it's smart plays. KICKOFF is already going to play soft side. They're still trying to read and prod where the hit's going to be coming from. And now that it's been announced, they have to play the retake.
Playing their life in sight. Loud's going to find free space here. A little bit of util use for it. Wait, KICKOFF jumps out right away, going for his own. Dark gets the double on the surprise as the rest of the team floods in. The cavalry is here for Evil Geniuses, and KICKOFF, the one to throw himself in the fire and start the chaos.
Almost looks like the play style that they've learned facing off against Envy in the first week. Flooding through, not giving a chance for their opponents to set up in the post plant. Not only do you throw the recon, it's combined with the paranoia from Superman. KICKOFF maybe whiffing the first few shots, but he still gets value on these 2 kills and wastes enough time for 2 players to come back in and support them. That was beautifully played by EG, and a different look from what we're used to.
Yeah, very fast on that flood. Confidence on the retake. It's what you want to see to start this game for both teams. And that defuse goes right into the hands of EG as Loud now have to come up with a second round. Some Bulldogs, a Guardian. Look to keep this one pretty long range for EG.
DJZ and a Guardian is basically just like playing an outlaw going to the second round, so keep an eye on that. The purchase that he has, maybe to try to get an off up as soon as possible too, hence the differences in terms of the weapons that he chooses is in this anti-ego. And already scoring first blood, Darker falling down to Loud, and unfortunately there's not really too much map control that they're able to get, and especially trying to sell that fake on that sewer side. Well, they take the silver lining, grab an orb here, controlling that C side. Yeah,
Luke Show trying to do an audio grab, any rotations, any sound he can deliver here as he gains that space in sewers. And jump around in garage. Make a lot of noise here to make themselves apparent, and EG will bite. We'll say what's going on, who's there. Bao cleans up 3 with the Spectre real fast.
Didn't even need the turret, just heard the jump into the garage, and that engaged another great support paranoia from Okeanos, sorry, as I thought it was Superman before with the paranoia, but it's Oki playing onto the smoke roll. That already gives him 4 assists, by the way, with paranoia assists in the last 2 rounds.
Going from the breach to the Yoru to the smokes roll, Oki's everywhere.
That's been his role since Tier 2 on top of that, right? He started off really playing like a Jet, being a duelist, then going into a KO, even playing some Harbor. So anything that you need him to do, which is, again, very important going into this meta where you need your flex players to be able to open up good strategies for the team overall, and especially a flex player that can frag out like Okeanos.
Absolutely. Watching him and Digizine trade the op back and forth, to no surprise either, because they're both very good with it. Something we're expecting those duelists to grab this game as a core win factor. It's got a little bit of time before we get that money online, though. Towards C, looks like Loud's just trying to make some noise here.
Just kind of free right now for EG to move around that map. So they're getting 0 pressure on this A side when they stacked up 3. So a very similar look, actually, to when they played that Breach and Silva combination to take control of the A choke. But as you get this forward line from Digizine, I like that they're pushing it back from Loud. It might start forcing EG to maybe start peeking for info, start rotating to a different spot, and try re-getting that space that's now lost from the A choke.
You're getting that a bit at garage right now from Bao, trying to see if he can catch any audio himself from this position. Well, he might just actually catch a hit from Luke Show here. Oh, very close. The spray from the Spectre through the door. Bao's on it.
Happy those doors got broken at the beginning of the round for sure. It almost looked like he was trying to find a timing, but thankfully it was just to break util, just to keep Loud in the spawn. I mean, we have 20 seconds left. They haven't even crossed that line to get to anything so far for Loud, and finally it'll be a desperate hit over this B site.
The pressure play, I think between both of these teams on their attack sides, we're going to see a lot of rounds ending up like this. If they lose an early player, it just seems to stave off the real hit, but Loud get it down. Now they have to take a breather and figure out what the best play is as they swing. Digizine is there, but it's going to be Okeanos ready for 2, and he swipes up, finds Pancata, and the defuse to follow for the bonus round.
You know that when they were walking on that stage, Okeanos hand in pockets and just game face on, ready to just face against Loud. And
cold.
They've mentioned it before, it's not only just on, you know, them trying to get a victory, but it's also to help out Digizine to I know it's not really a revenge match, as Digizine talked about it with Athena, but at the same time, it kind of feels good if you're able to defeat your ex-opponents, your ex-teammates from the previous team.
There's always a chip there. We'd love to take care of.
And 3 unanswered rounds for EG. That breaks the econ going in for Loud. So have a stinger buy, trying to keep things kind of evened up. So they can have a strong buy into the next round and then maybe start leveraging the Hunter's Fury to try to swing around back in this round number 5.
Already apparent there's an outlaw here. And they don't go towards it too much. They will start to bait a bit to see if they can close the range on Digizine and the rest of the team just by getting up through window. Oh, just past the turret. But they already know.
Yeah.
They already know. There's only one place they really could be going, as they don't see anybody long. There's more towards the window, and Darker's going to keep himself alive. Good for 2 now.
Feeling that confidence after the past few rounds and assists from Oki, so he was just trying to find that duel, knowing that he's facing up against a Sheriff only, but it's still Darker.
Yeah.
Darker had some amazing rounds in the clutch. A 3K on the pistol against C9 a couple of weeks ago and almost got that space. But Superman finds that timing. It stops the bleeding, but at least Kawadzine has snuck through. This will give them some money going into the next round, and you'll take that for sure.
Absolutely. Unfortunate to see the upgrade for Darker there being his undoing after waiting so long in this situation. Trying to play it smart. Still get the plant down like you said. And we'll just see what Kawadzine can make of this. It'll be a pop-off round. Has the ult if it actually comes down to it. Maybe he gets a kill. It's still going to be pushed off quite hard from this lower position, though.
As everything's cleared, now it's confirmed. Last player is in sewers. Nice little re-clearing for EG on the 3v1.
Standing ahead.
They're just getting that safe defuse down behind the wall. The push-up, he can't do anything about it. And Digizine will find another kill. 2 away from the ult there for Neon on defense.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, got the defuse even before that kill, so
yeah,
allows for that to get picked up. But this is going to be that important swing round for Loud. Not only do they have the Hunter's Fury, they have a second ult available with Darker's Pit, but at the same time, with how we've been farming for Bao on the other side for EG, and the orb control from Calm at the beginning of these rounds, they also have double ults to work with.
Yo, Kawadzine, you gotta keep on playing for stats?
Oh no.
Didn't say that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Bao's headhunting for these stat players. He's like, what are you doing? I'm new here. Isn't that not what you're supposed to do?
Bao's gonna need a bit of time outside of scrims to write new one-liners to the camera in between these rounds. Yeah, already an early timeout here for the side of Loud.
Getting a lot of moments from Bao on the cam, that's for sure. And it is going to be that timeout to figure out what might be the answer here. The 4th round lost, as expected after the bonus. And we see guns coming in again. How are they going to work it? It's been really a main control on on that side by Calm. They haven't really tested him too much. They've inserted some people down into sewers, but really nothing's coming of that. And then it becomes a regular hit as the round folds on.
And that's the thing. They haven't really added that pressure into anything so far for Loud at the beginning of these rounds. We saw some very slow play when in the past few weeks, even if it's different comps, but they just try to scale up as a team and haven't really so far, in my eyes, leveraged Verdi to the best of his potential yet, because he usually on his Neon is just going to run it down. It's Digizine instead.
Up in the speed here, Verdi's able to see it, but it's a nice peek for each other as they're swinging, just trying to get as many trades as possible here in mid. As you see, the X is littering that mid side of the minimap. And coming out of this timeout, it was to up the pace for sure. Looks like they're still trying to watch the extremities here, but EG's trying to close in as much as possible.
That's the positive side, at least from playing very slow for Loud and staying in spawn, is that if you're actually trying to change the tempo from the opponents, they'll be ready for it. You can't keep that as your main game plan every round here on the attack. At least they spotted Okeanos earlier on, who broke the alarm bot, so they know it's kind of weak side on that side. See, there was no retaliation after trying to fight back, but yeah, you definitely do have a nice little alert coming, and especially with the turret being called back.
Perfect.
That's the call already from Superman, so that's going to get Okeanos ready.
They're actually just waiting. It becomes a lot scarier when you know there's people on the map and you're not finding any. You feel like they are surrounding you everywhere. Okeanos starts it off from the shadows almost, if you will.
One enemy remaining.
And he will actually More shots to come through. Pankata looking left and right. He's just trying to fix his crosshair and what might be the right position. Still a slight bit of time to work with, but so many angles, it looks impossible.
That's the main thing looking at this as Okeanos picks up the second in the round. It's the discipline that you have from EG. You definitely could see right now that they're really trying to play to win. It's a 3 versus 1 in that sense. You kind of caught Pankata off guard, yet Calm still falls back. They're trying to play the numbers. They drone up. He scans. They're just letting Pankata come to him. And I love that little gap that Okeanos gave himself. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but nonetheless, you don't have any eagle swings coming out from EG. Play the contact. The other one swing out. Guarantee the round. And it looks like they have definitely been ironing things out throughout the past couple of weeks versus what we've seen in these hectic battles that they brought week after week when they first started here against Envy and then Sentinels.
Stinger by. It's funny, we mentioned Calm at the end of Long A. He was back for the Hunter's Fury that round. Back for the Shock Dart this time. He gets a nice amount of chip damage there. Stinger's at the ready. Paranoia coming up from lower. Superman's going to get hit, but he's going to try to close the distance here. The relay bolt, the kitchen sink, everything dropped on his head. And the rest of Loud as well as they turn the corner and fire into the abyss that was that corner. EG playing it calm, playing it collected. Okeanos picks up a third and Calm stares down from his tower and drops Cowanzine.
Okeanos continues its reign on the defensive side. I love at least that we changed the tempo, yes, for Loud to be a little bit more quick on the execution, but that was defined also for the type of buy that you had. Love to start seeing this a little bit more here in the gun rounds because it definitely looked like on that side for EG. They had to ready up themselves a little bit more quickly.
Bro, I own this A bomb site, bro.
It's the Stinger rush in. I think one of the things is they all kind of just came horizontally out of that ult as much as they could instead of continue to push with those Stingers.
Well, I think that's the important thing too, is that Darker swung outside of his pit when they dropped it down. So once he dies, it opens up and exposes the rest of the team who are trying to play onside with the Stingers inside the pit. So I don't think we followed that plan correctly for the side of Loud, but hopefully this time it'll pay out from the IGL. Pankata calls that he's going to TP back towards that spawn, and Bao is waiting for it.
This is huge. Loud need an opening in one of these rounds. Can they look to their IGL for it? They can. Pankata from spawn starts it, and this is going to be the C exec that they need. They still have to get through this retake. It looks like the op may come from that long side, but it's going to take Digizine and crew a while to get there.
The overdrive is available for Digizine, so that's why he is flanking with the rest. With the op in hand, they still have a bit of util for the flood. Paranoia and a drone. Maybe waiting for the recon in 18 seconds, but they are showing themselves here on that flank.
Quick push in.
Loud's ready to push back towards that spawn. Look at that.
They're trying to get away, but Superman doesn't let him. Superman doesn't let him. He is a brick wall on that defensive side, and they're still getting pushed from long. Luke Show having to turn back and forth. Now Okeanos ready for it. Not only A, it is also C that he's got a lock on here when necessary. Superman on that defuse. It'll come through. 2 seconds left. It sounded close. It wasn't even close.
I mean, every site's locked out.
Yeah, seriously. 7-0 right now.
It's 2020 IRL for Loud trying to work the attack on this map of Haven. But that said, the fact right here that Superman is able to find 3 kills because the read and the call was perfect to say, let's push out towards that spawn. The alarm about the drone, there's got to be more than one with Tom.
I thought you had the good-ass aim!
and the fact that they wanted to push out towards that spawn, what was missing, though, was the timing on that swing. They went one by one to try to fight against Superman. And that was some of the mistakes that was also showing against their last matchup on 100 Thieves.
Oh, he wasn't lying. 2 more and sewers go down for Loud before Darker can come back with anything to get Loud in a position to figure out where they can go here. And we saw even Verdi going down for Loud in their previous series was cause for pause. It took Loud so long to regroup, to find a way to go. And the rounds just never seemed to work out if they lost that main entry here. They got a lot of work to do.
It's painful. You're at the minute mark, you're showing your hand. There's still util up on both the garage and C side, but now here comes those confident peaks that could be very punishing for EG.
Oh, he gets seen. Darker rechecking the spot, or Cowanzine rather rechecking that spot, knowing there was a sliver to hide in here. Digi from spawn, they are absolutely looking to secure this round as they throw everything in with the ultimates. And the lockdown will delay EG on that retake.
And of course, just like any other Valorant game, it's a 9-3 curse or a 7-1 scoreline usually that we see, because they're in prime position right now to win this round for Loud. Nano Swarms already, but they're popping it quite early.
Yeah, that's very early. EG for sure going for this with the bankroll that they have over these last 8 rounds.
Oh my gosh.
I thought we saw a triplet going down there. Kawenzine gets the kill on Digizine. And now we're going to have Calm just hanging out to save this one. So it is going to be that 7-1. A very, very big kill coming in through this round. It got that C site for the side of Loud. Let's see if he can get any more kills here.
That's what they can't do for the side of EG. Because when you look at it, Okeanos already had 2 kills in the sewers. They're playing a 5-on-3. Yeah. You already have 2 layers of finding the scaling for Loud at that point into the garage. Because if it's not, sorry, the Alarma was on B side still, but the turret helps you over here. You can't have the guy swing out garage yet, because you need to help out at least each other on the C side, on the garage. And it just makes it so much more difficult for the rest of EG to rotate back from the A site to see if the site's already taken in the first place. For Loud into the post plant.
Operator on garage. Oh, that's an elbow. That poofy jacket is going to get Luxo killed. Looks like he won't actually peek. He's on the box, just hiding out. As Loud really haven't tempted mid for quite some time here.
The look is pretty decent for EG. They'll know this hit's coming towards that B site, but you still have 2 players just working in tandem so that you can't get more pressure into the extremities, into the links after the plant for Loud.
Killjoy ultimate as well. Where you're going to throw that down if you can keep control just behind window. Yes. Easy from garage, but it still means the front of the site is a fight. That window becomes a priority. Digizine's able to find some kills through the doors. Misses there as he takes a bit of damage. And Calm, doing Calm things. A little bit of damage to come off of that. I think he might have gotten a hit.
Toxin screen down.
Superman toying with this on the outside as the team tries to get to the front of the site. It's happening on all fronts here. This fight needed to be won, but Kawenzine comes out on top. Loud's doing exactly what they need to do to stave off another round from EG defusing. And this is going to be a 2nd round from Loud.
Yeah, the setup was actually pretty nice for EG though, right? You have that pit, you're droning early on the A side, so you know there's a lean towards middle for Loud. Then you have that buddy system into the garage and the turret to support and help out the lockdown once you try to play that retake. At the end of the day, it becomes the gun rounds right over here, the duels that have to be won for the side of EG, where unfortunately it didn't pan out for a couple of these players. And even as good as they look for the first 7 rounds, you're already calling the early timeout on the side of EG just to slow down the momentum here of Loud, where, you know, it seems as though we're getting a little bit too overconfident maybe on the side of EG. I mean, you need to really stop that tempo for the side of Loud so that they can't really come back into this half, because you want to continue this dominant first half that you've displayed for the defense.
Yeah. I think one of the things we saw EG start to suffer on versus Envy towards the end, and it was a big reason for the Corrode comeback stop, was the pressure. They're just hitting the site at a speed that EG has a hard time organizing the utility, and maybe losing 1 or even 2 in the process, which then we've seen become just a save for the way that Loud pushes up and really tries to get in their face.
And one last layer there I think that we're trying to do that I forgot to mention in that lockdown play from EG is the Hunter's Fury from Calm, right? So you're pushing everybody outside the radius of that lockdown, and as soon as it disappears, you know people want to try to fight back towards that window. He's just trying to ult in there to maybe catch some players off guard. But unfortunately, it didn't get any hits going to Loud's side, which also allowed Loud to have a much better post-plant scenario where all that util and that trap play was finally gone out the window for EG side, literally. But you refocus. The op is back in the hands of Digizine, and he's looking for an aggressive line down towards the sewers. Beautiful snake bite, though. He won't be able to cross that wall, so an advantage for Loud to take over sewers.
Ooh, he turns the relay bolt as they trade that quick concuss. And he saves himself, saves the op. But now Loud know where that op is. They have the opportunity to move towards a different site as fast as possible. Again, up the pace just a little bit. And they're going to drone mid to make EG think that it's important.
So Info identifies the lurk. They're going to try to punish Darker at least to get a player's advantage on the retake.
There.
Oh, they know. Oh, they know. Oh, he looked away though. Just for the moment. Takes a second to reset or keep an eye on the left side, and it was the moment he goes down. Trade 1 for 1.
Yeah, they knew Olkiano's TP'd and saw him, so
Yeah.
they didn't really work in tandem to take that down, and Bao is playing close with that judge and gets caught off the rotate when that spike goes down on that B site.
Super.
So, and see again.
Cross, they know. They're looking straight at the window. Do they know there's a second, though? This is the crux, but there's another flank on the flank coming through that would have probably stopped Okeanos anyways. And again, here's that save situation where Digizine is going to have to back up and keep that in his hands.
That what was missing from Loud, now that you're starting to see a couple of rounds come through, when they're actually throwing these slow defaults, despite the aggression coming out from EG, you're finally using util to break some on the side of Bao, force these rotates to come out. And as soon as you get that one, just that one kill from Darker onto Calm, that's trying to lurk up to get that kill, well, that forces Bao to get out of position, feeling that he has to rotate to help towards that B site, and then he gets caught by an insert on that C site because a turret was watching Garage. So, again, just these type of plays where Loud has been good at against Cloud9 when they play these slow rounds. And it displays themselves right here in this current round after the timeout from EG.
3 in a row here for Loud. Effective timeouts coming through for them to make sure this does not go any further. And honestly, being able to get 7 on the defensive side for EG is already very, very nice, especially on a site or a map like Haven.
Be critical on that one, though. It should have been 8 if it wasn't for that peak that we had in the Garage.
Very true.
On that 5 versus 3, but at least you're trying to right your wrongs. Digizine gets that first pick with the operator and looks back down towards that C-long.
Finds it. The quick peeks. You never know where he is. Last time he was at short, then he was at long. Now he's at C, trying to vary the position every round, and even within the round, use that neon speed to be at a different site.
Now we'll see if the leadership and the communication coming in from Calm and from Potter to play your numbers. Not aggressively peek is there, and it works.
Yeah. Oh!
Spike down mid.
Crazy little high-low there, as much as they could from the Garage hallway. And now Darker left to search around 40 seconds, so he does have the map to work with. 3,100, team's got some money. So he may go for an adventure here.
And an OD to his old teammate, pulling out the airplane Bucky of Jogimo.
Yeah. See if he's got the movement. Oh my God, did you see that? Up and over the top. It's Calm, quick shot on Darker. Gets him there, and you're right.
Yeah, he's just missing Blade Storms in the ground, too.
Off the generator in the back. The shot in the middle. And Digizine waking up a little bit. And it's not because the outshots are really missing, it's because Loud's doing a good job of avoiding that.
And that's basically what Jonah P was mentioning before, too. Like, to have Neons to try to disrespect walls on one end on the attack side, it's also the same thing of attack side lurk walls that's been coined so long and utilized by even Jonah P and the guard in Tier 2. It's to block those lines of sights of the operator, so it's hard for the Digizine to get value out of those, which is why now he's off in on the C side. Doesn't care about the Viper wall, just wants to fight into the C-long. It's a fake, though, on the side of Verdi. And look at the pincer into C.
2 kills already. Verdi and Darker, so that's Overdrive's down. Now they can just play it safe. Drone actually misses, so Digizine stays safe, stays moving. Can't get that one. Too much of a swing. Not enough mouse pad. And Luxo is going to take advantage of the site getting hit. A little bit of ping going out there.
A little bit of a miscom. Nobody there to break that dart for Digizine. It allows Luxo to find that timing.
Okay, Bao has a timing of his own. Oh, pincered? Both of them? Oh my gosh, fish in a barrel. Okay, maybe not. This is it, but they're gonna be pinched in here from both sides. They're trying to push out and make one of them work in their favor. Cowanzine doing what he can, but Calm's got the swing. Superman's got another one, a second on the round. He's gonna go ahead and defuse that for the team.
Yeah, Calm continues to play beautifully here to keep one enemy away from him, and you already see it on camera. He's like, we're playing so well. I think I read they're playing so bad. So they got this.
Yeah. He was like, our brains are this big. That were huge, huge brains.
Well, at least again, able to correct that after Lucio gets a nice double kill in the beginning, and they maintain a strong lead in the half.
Let's go, guys! Come on!
Nicely done. We'll see if EG can carry on with this domination when we come back from the break. We are back with EG versus Loud. We got the 7-1 in first half, and then we got the 9-3 ending. So the only final thing is this is going OT. Let's get into the second half.
Again, looking really good for EG after the first half. And unfortunately here, if you're looking for other side of Loud, there's been just a lack of ways to really get Verdi activated again. So upon his conversation after the loss against 100 Thieves to Pedro Romero, saying, look, what we're currently playing so far doesn't really match our play style. And I feel it's for him. He needs to find something and an agent that allows for him to be quick and aggressive. And you know he has it with this Neon. But when he's actually going for these sight hits and he's trying to sell these fakes, he's by himself, and then he can't really help out the rest of the team because they're getting picked off on a different part of the map. So they just have to brush it up and pin it up as a group right now for Loud to hopefully come back in this offensive side.
And if the sight hits don't work, does it become a standstill upping Neon? You know, what is the variation? We'll have to see how fast they play it. Lots of ghosts to back up Calm Sheriff here on this round. And a whole lot of Loud on B, ready to shift to either side of this map.
Deleted.
That's a quick one from Luke Show. Always good for a crack shot like that.
And the most consistent player for Loud in the last few weeks. To losses was still top fragging, almost dropping 20 as well into a couple of series where they lost. I think like a 6-13 to 100 Thieves in the third map.
Yeah. Ooh, Okeanos going unchecked for a moment as the chaos begins mid here. And that is just all in favor of Loud as they started to pinch in, continuously having that defense B. Everyone was there to participate.
Yeah, now up to the newly appointed IGL of EG to try to clutch a 1v3.
30 seconds left.
He's leaning towards this side of A. It's beautifully read here for Loud. I think they're in the same type of scenario where they're going to play their numbers. Doesn't matter if Calm gets the plant. You'll retake as a group. And just take the best map control as possible. Now they hear the footsteps from the A-Link, though. And Lucio gets 2.
From C to A. So you know what? I think they're going to be here. Site to site, coast to coast. Lucio getting kills on this first pistol round in the second half. We see, boom, there's the first one. Little bandit action. Love to see it. Quick tap coming in from Darker there. And Loud getting a important round.
Even playing from his past roles on this map in Tier 2, he switched away from the Cypher onto this one. I remember him being just such a good player as he was farming everybody on this map. Just because of the cages and whatnot, but he doesn't need the cage at this point. Playing the cage A, playing a chamber. He doesn't mind going for the head-to-head duels. Because as you saw in the skirmish, he'll take anybody down.
He's not afraid to buy an op.
He
doesn't care what the server thinks. All right, Pancata, Stinger, quick paranoia. Backpedal here by Loud, but they still have pretty good hold of that backside. Fight fizzles out, but it doesn't stop EG from taking that space again to make sure they have it for another hit.
It's a cut noise repeat. That said, though, we're not going for the drone at the minute mark. They're going to try to walk down.
Take flight.
There it is.
Hello. Ooh.
That's how you get punished.
A few of the shots going wayward there, and they do get taken down by a classic. The thing is can they grab one of these? Oh, tempting. The smoke's up. Let me grab that. And they're going to put their own smoke up to make sure it might be a gun upgrade.
Hoping to bait some shots at the same time.
Oh. Kawanzin low. He wants to be the last one participating in this if somebody else can make a distraction. Right into Kawanzin's face, but Loud is ready and prepared for the jump through there. Everybody's staring down the outside of that smoke. Verdi with the Marshall, a scope in his hand as he starts off in the second half.
Kind of still like the heads-up play for those two players for EG inside that smoke. One baits the reload, so you're forcing Util to come out, and as you hear the recon come through, well, Oki's already holding inside that smoke, switching to the short and guarantees that kill, so making the round very expensive. for Loud as they drop, I think, 3 players in that process. Again, punishing Loud's early peaks. The timing that KICKOFF was trying to use on a drone, very similarly, basically, to EG on that first half. But they still managed to close out the round for the Brazilian organization. Triple swing now towards long.
Was Calm fast enough to get out? He's going to have to do a hell of a fight here. That's 1. 42 HP left. Doesn't really have a chance to get too much help now, but the relay bolt is there. Is just going to go ahead and cook himself to try and get this one. It is going to give the advantage to the squad. They're losing a few. They're losing too many now, Vance.
Yeah, 1v2.
And it's scary when it's Luke's show.
It'll take a long time, though, for him to rotate across, and it's annoying. You're going to have to play against a smoker, too.
Oh, my.
I'm going to use it for the cross in the garage first. Turret may help out, at least for Luke show. He's able to at least get onto the site. And there's that second smoke, so you don't really want to use it for any type of one-ways. Just trying to make it difficult for Luke show to try to get this round back.
This would be a monster clutch. Has the turret to just distract. Might have time to find that second one. Does. Has the tap. Knows it's at the end. Gets 1 kill. This is going to leave Bao wondering. It's just an alarm bot to his name, so that ain't helping. It's going to be all on the aim here. The turret is still there, but he's not going to choose to use it, and Bao comes up big for Evil Geniuses.
The wide swing, too. Wonder what he's saying there. Definitely wasn't trying to play for stats this time around for Lucio. He's trying to play for the clutch. Unfortunately here, it's not good enough. It looked dangerous at some point, though, because the first one swinging out was the one that was going to get the direct line into the one defusing. And then Bao just had to trust his gut that it was going to be a full stick from Luke Show.
When they take that bonus round away from Loud, the damage counts from round to round there, 2 to 3, and pays off for EG.
I know, though, it was quite costly for EG to take that round. Remember, it was a 2v1 for them to take.
That's true.
So Verdi now goes into the Outlaw, knowing that the economy's not the best, but still gets punished by Digizine running up.
There's the speed. We were wondering, it's not an off standstill Neon. It's a very speedy Digizine. Luke show from the side, but the team's able to find out what's going on with that situation really quick and sort it out. They just have to worry about the flank now.
Yeah, they took out the main heavy hitters of this B-site anchor. Darker still alive, though, with the veterancy of the original Loud players of Pancata and KICKOFF. All of EG stuck to stay within sight, so you're droning out for info, but it's waited out. That's why we call the experience of players like KICKOFF. Drone's gone, he re-drones to try to clear up the site, and the double swing will come in from the ceiling soon.
Oh, the distance is good. He lets the team know they can go in. Superman takes out Darker, though. Back of the site is being locked down right now as Calm is also trying to swing back and forth to give an anchor position to Superman, but it's not necessary. Holds it down with 3, a possible 4th here as Calm's hiding just on the back. Superman swings, and he does lock down the 4 kills.
The selfless play coming out from Calm as well. Because not only he gets drone out, he knows that KICKOFF's in the window, yet he still decides to cross over wide. High risk, high reward. So as you cross over, the others will have to swing out and try to chase him down, which allows Superman to get the surprise attack from the back of Gong. And a quad kill in the end.
Let's go! Insanely, guys! Insanely play!
Oh, they are very happy with the way things are going right now. Controlling this, taking 2 rounds back right away here in the second half.
There.
Looks like they're going to start here. Just on either side of that entrance to C. Verdi waits, Pancata waits. Oh, ate that. Just hatching shock darts over there in the corner, that's fine.
And that's the hero rifle, buying small shields. And he's already at half HP. That was full damage. That landed right at his toes.
So going to keep his position for now. The smoke clears, so they're pretty much locked in and dedicated to this C defense. So many ults already ready for the side of EG2.
And you see, because of this eco, right, everybody's just staying on the side of EG. They wanted to make some noise on this side first and maybe push some opponents over on that A choke. But as it continues to stay quiet, and they really haven't found that true information against Loud yet, they still have to be meticulous, which is why the drone comes out.
Yep.
But because we're so turtled into the site, not showing any hands yet, EG will still continue to have to play contact and hoping here that they're not running into the stack.
I think one of the fundamentals, or things we saw about EG in their fundamentals, was they were going too slow on their anti-ecos. It seems like they're going slow, but they've somewhat corrected it once they get into the site. Digi creates that space. We have the ult coming through, and they're ready for Loud to come back into the site. It doesn't mean Loud doesn't get a few to their own name, as they're still trying to creep in. A little bit of a smoke maze, Caterpillar in, and that puts Darker in hell for now. Let's see if they can get any trick shots out of this one.
Watches the wrong side, but Digizine elevated, gets the easy kill. Staying very patient in the numbers for EG. And despite playing against an eco, still leverage the Hunter's Fury to take oversight on A. Running a Fnatic route with the last few seconds to get the plant in. Wow. Digizine now activated for those eco kills to get the overdrive at map point.
And they got the open site, controlling a chaotic fight on the take as well. The weight on the round really separated what they wanted in the macro, so just took a bit of back and forth once they got there. EG looking now at game point here for our first map on Haven. Their selection of map choice as well. Let me see why.
Move. Look at this timeline. You still have this timeout, and we never really used it here for this second half. It's tough.
Top. Ooh, all the way to the back for Okeanos. Hello.
And just that in itself, look at how he pulls back the defense. Yeah, he still loses that fight to Darker, but that gives a little bit of room for EG to start creeping up.
Moving in, rush back from Darker now.
Exactly, it's soft side on C site. So they're reading this correctly for EG once again. But it's Penkata, man.
Ooh. The movement he wasn't aware of, but they're not aware of Penkata either. As Darker and Penkata have a beautiful crossfire there to start off, and they are smothering Evil Geniuses on this hit. Read it very well after the ultimate came through from Okeanos.
Still at 50 seconds. Lots of money to work with for the side of EG. Calm is going to go around the world.
Full around the world.
You know how that meme goes. To this day?
It's in my head right now. I was bobbing back and forth. And
but still, through all this time, nobody's watching here towards that back spawn side. So, they're probably thinking that Calm's saving his weapon, but just to make sure somebody's going to be watching their backs.
Fans, don't. No. No way. Okay, it reset.
So recon that helps.
Kawanzine reset it, yeah. But still. But still, 10 seconds left. This is going to be a high.
Oh my gosh.
You do not peek this. There's no peek. There's no peek. Oh my god, he's going to go for the full plant. He's going to get the plant. Oh, he's got the 1v1 now versus Luke Show. Is he going to end the game? Is the IGL going to end the game? Calm already did around the world. Can he put it on his shoulders? Calm gets the 4K and sits Loud down for the first map.